Herald-Times sports editor Chris Korman here with Dustin Dopirak. Happy Halloween. We are dressed as 20-something sports writers.
Yeah. I'm rocking the black and orange tie. I decided
Show it. More of it.
Exactly.
Lovely.
I got yelled at that for that this morning by him, but I stuck with it.
Yeah, now I like it.
Good.
It's for the people.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Everything we do is for you.
Exactly.
We are here, 42-24, Kinnick Stadium. Indiana loses. Third Big Ten road game.
Yeah.
Third time Indiana has led said road game in the fourth quarter and lost.
Yeah.
And yet, Bill Lynch, proud of his guys.
Really proud of his guys.
Really proud.
Really proud of his guys. There's parts of that aren't surprising to me because this is Iowa and this is kind of how they win, but yet you got a 21-7 lead. You know, try to hold it.
You just wonder, is anyone ever going to get really angry?
Apparently not. Apparently that's not going to happen. I mean, I don't know that. I'd love to know what goes on in the post game, talks or whatnot. If Lynch talks to them like he talks to us, or if he just says, "Look, I'm going to go put a positive spin on this. You guys do the same if you talk to the media."
But I'm really angry.
I don't know. It could be either way.
Throw my gun at you.
I would not be surprised either way. He might go in there and say the same thing to them that he says to us. I don't know. But I'd be interested to see. But everyone obviously was disappointed. But I mean, games like this in other programs. I mean, sometimes you see people coming back just despondent, and didn't see that today. Guys were disappointed, but they were like, "Hey, we played tight with Iowa, got away from us. We'll get better next time." That was it.
That's the whole year, really.
Yeah, that's what it's been like since day one. That's what these guys do. That's how they talk.
Obviously, Indiana really struggled in the secondary. Nick Polk ended up not playing. Apparently hurt his ankle Thursday.
Yeah.
Wasn't on the injury report because
they thought he was going to play.
Ended up he couldn't play.
Yeah. You would figure they'd at least put him down as probable just to say, hey, something's going on. But I guess they just didn't want to address it at all.
He was definitive, but not really.
Right.
Anyway,
Fisher then gets hurt on the opening kickoff.
Yep.
Knee injury. They said he was in street clothes by halftime.
Yep.
So we don't know if that's going to be a longer issue or not.
And then Donnell Jones, cornerback,
was playing with the elbow.
Yeah, has an elbow injury, has a brace on there. Obviously tried to step in front of a ball and could not get to it, and that led to a long catch. Yeah. Was also chasing on one of the long touchdowns. Adrian Burks had to play first major playing time as a college player. Apparently just beat Richard Council badly this week. We were told that was a battle. Council didn't play a single snap. He's not on the participation report.
No.
Today. So, obviously a revamped secondary, and Colin Taylor was playing safety, really playing safety. He played the last two games, but he was
the nickelback.
They were in that
this
nickel.
This time he was in the safety. He was playing Nick's position.
Right.
An interesting thing, too, they had, as a team, they had 5 picks.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part. You look at the secondary, they had 5 picks, but yet you had 2 just massive blown coverages lead to a 92-yard and a 66-yard touchdown, 1-play drives in both instances, and that's kind of what put Iowa over the top there. They were down 24-14 going into the first one when Marvin McNutt got loose on a big out route. Stanzi was rolling out as he did so many times today, found him wide open. That was a 92-yard score, and then the guy I referred to as DJK because I can't remember his full name.
Johnson Koulianos.
That's it. I don't know if I could pronounce it anyway, but he also got really, really, really open for a 66-yard score. Managed to make a couple people miss deep, and that was right about where it got out of hand.
Right about then?
Yeah.
Indiana, to be fair to the Hoosiers, we were sort of belittling them for their lack of angst, but they were weird. Weird plays again. Chappell tries to throw and is sort of hit, and the ball bounces around. Turns out to be what was it, 86-yard?
86-yard touchdown. It apparently hit off. There was just so much, mayhem going on there at the time that I did not see how it ended up in Tyler Sash's hands. Apparently, according to Sash, according to the post-game notes we got, it hit off Sash's helmet, then hit off 2 other guys, and ended up back in Sash's hands.
That's some talent right there.
Yeah, that's something else. So that goes from, they were driving to try to make it 28-7, then it goes back the other way and it's 21-14.
Right.
And then you have another chance to score. Donnell Jones gets the pick, gets it back to the 4-yard line. Indiana gets down to the 2. throws, Chapel throws
does not
a pass
run the
to
Wildcat.
Turner. Does not run the Wildcat. Actually called a heck of a play to Turner. Turner made a heck of an adjustment on the ball just to get it, and I don't know if he got it or not.
We watched
really
the replay.
close.
We can't tell.
Yeah, we can't really tell. It was close. I would have leaned towards that he did, to tell you the truth. That would be my guess, and I don't think if I had made that call in the field I would have overturned it, but the officials disagree with me there, and,
And they have a snazzier uniform than you.
They do
have the
snazzier.
tie, but
I do have the tie. Yes, they do have a snazzy uniform, and they do that more. They have a job in officiating, and I never could in 1,000 years. So
your job
I
is
guess
typing.
My job is typing. It has nothing to do with calling plays in the field.
True.
So they took that off of them, and then Nick Freeland missed a field goal. So.
Then weird circumstances again. But Indiana ahead. I mean, really, and just doesn't put it away. Just had no killer instinct.
Yeah.
And Lynch, his take on it again is that it's a football game. That's how.
Yeah.
You're never in the clear. Teams are going to make plays. They're going to come back, and Iowa is a top 10 team, and
but Iowa wins games like this too. Yeah. I mean that's the thing.
And so does Northwestern.
Yeah, but I was
fans,
undefeated doing this.
Yeah, the question Indiana fans have is probably
why can't Hoosiers ever put one away? Yeah, no, that's obviously the question. But I kind of had this sort of sense of inevitability the whole time I was watching this. Like Iowa comes back. Period. That's what they do. Somehow, some way, they're going to get lucky, and they might be they're the most charmed team in Division I football right now. Somehow it works for these guys. Somehow, some way. Iowa wins football games. Something, one way or another. It just ends up roses for these guys.
Ends up roses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that a pun?
I don't know. Maybe no. Well,
it could go to
it could be. I mean, all they got to do is win out and they're in the Rose Bowl. They could even lose to if Penn State should beat Ohio State. They could even lose to Ohio State and they could still get in the Rose Bowl. I think that's probably where they'll go anyway. I don't know if they'll leapfrog Florida, Texas, or whoever, but they could end up there.
All right, so where's this leave Indiana football right now? Fans obviously still talking about the Lynch. Lynch has 2 more years. Glass has stood behind him. Fans are still talking about Lynch a little bit, whether or not that was the right call.
Well, I mean, it's a tough place to put this. I mean, in the middle, right before he even gets the, not recommendation. What's the word? After Glass says that. Right before Glass says that, Jabril Black decommits. So, obviously, there's some issues there. I mean, who knows whether he's the right guy for the job or if he isn't. One way or another, Indiana fans know that, you got to figure he at least gets this year. Sometimes when people come out with the vote of confidence, they don't necessarily get the entire contract. Yes, it's been done before. It wouldn't be the first time. Maybe, Glass is a former lawyer, so maybe, he's really down for this contract thing, but you got to figure at the very least he's back in 2010. At the very least. So it's a tough call as to where that puts it. And, does he have a chance to turn this thing around next year? I mean, he's going to lose a lot of guys. He's going to lose.
I wasn't really looking at such a big picture. I mean, I'm glad he took it there, but I just meant for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season, well, obviously,
let's just stay in the moment.
Yeah, stay in the moment. I mean, yet again, that's one less shot at an upset. And they need one. They need to get one of these 3 if they're going to have a bowl shot. They either now have to upset either Wisconsin or Penn State and then beat Purdue, which is not going to be easy. They're probably going to be underdog for that game, but that at least seems a lot more winnable than Wisconsin and Penn State does. So, somehow they've got to get another big lead, and they've got to hold on to it.
So that's our story, and we're just going to stick to it. We're now going to drive back to Bloomington.
Finally getting home to Bloomington.
Under the moon, listening to the World Series.
Yeah.
Maybe get back in time for some trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, some crazy trick-or-treaters that rock out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Probably not. Thanks for being here. We'll see you. Bye.